Hi, and welcome to 2-Minute Topics. Today's topic that I will be discussing is actually part 2 to my video last week on risk management. And if you haven't seen it, check it out because it'll make this video make a lot more sense. So today I will be focused on some of the more common or standard risks that supply chains face regardless of the forces driving them. So in other words, your known risks within your supply chain. Now, keep in mind, I only have 2 minutes, so this list is not all inclusive. However, it does give a starting point to dive in further. So your 2 minutes starts now. Risk is actually a matter of perspective, and it can be both positive or negative. However, as I mentioned before, you can actually take any risk and turn it into a reward if you have a proactive risk management strategy in place. I mean, there's inherent risk in any business transaction, so why wouldn't you want to be prepared? Now, what are some of those known or common supply chain risks? Well, that level of granularity could be broken down into individual videos themselves because that's going to depend on what piece of the supply chain you're actually in. However, I'm going to give you a few general risks that can impact end-to-end supply chains if presented. So number 1, supplier selection. I briefly mentioned this in the last video, but take a look at your supplier selection. And that can be raw material, manufacturing, finished good, transportation provider, or any supplier that is within your chain. A lot of risk can be avoided or reduced by ensuring that you have a supplier vetting and evaluation process in place. Lack of this type of governance can actually open the door to a cornucopia of micro and macro environmental risks. Number 2, health and safety. Review your health and safety protocols. And this can be at your warehouses, manufacturing facilities, within your suppliers' facilities, out in the environment, wherever. But when it comes to health and safety, think internally and externally, and then across your supply chain. And third, delays. This can be any sort of delay, right? Like acquiring raw materials, manufacturing, shipping and transportation delays, which I know we've all seen a bunch of, or even any internal operational process delays. When faced with a delay of any type though, think about some of the other options that can be utilized and weigh out those costs and benefits of those options in order to still get the job done. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that if one of these types of risks presents itself, it trickles into the rest of the supply chain and can cause risk in other areas. But risk management strategies allows for an organization to quickly pivot and keep risk maintained versus spiraling out of control.